Hey everyone, and welcome to Comics from the Multiverse, the DC Comics podcast from MailFuzz TV. I am Peter, and sitting over there on his dapper hat, we have Matt.
Hey, what's up? Let's go.
His beard's looking more ginger than Connor is today, which is especially distracting. And Connor is also here.
Yeah, the light balance seems a bit weird, because I don't look ginger enough compared to that.
Honestly,
you don't have a soul and I do, so it's fine.
To be fair though, Connor's face is looking especially pale, so I think his white balance is a little bit off. He's taking some red out of the image there.
Yeah, just trying to hide it a bit.
He's looking a bit zombified. We talk about DC Comics on this show, and coming up on this week's episode, we are going to be talking about Batman, the Devastator #1, the next Metal one-shot, the next part of Bats Out of Hell, which is the Metal tie-in crossover, Justice League 32. We also have Batman 34, Superman 34, Green Lanterns 34, Green Arrow 34. That is the last time Green Arrow will be in sync with those because it's going to single shipping this month. And then Nightwing 32, Deathstroke 25, which, by the way, I was kind of like in a bit of a time crunch today, like reading the last few books. I left Deathstroke till last, and then I got to it and it said extra sized anniversary issue, and I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, well, that's all the 25s for you.
Priest uses every space he can.
Yeah.
So.
And then lastly, we have Batman White Knight #2. There was a couple of minis this week which we kind of weren't sure if we were trying or not. I did want to try out the Black Lightning book. I just didn't have time. I was pretty sure I was never trying Dead Man though because of Neil Adams. But no one checked out any of them because we were all tight on time. So
I just want to make it my official statement. Neil Adams, love what he's done, but I love his art more than his writing. So yeah, Batman Odyssey, and then Reign of the Superman, then Coming of the Superman. One of those two. I forget the title. Rough Times.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've had both those titles at some point for different stories. So yeah.
I definitely want to check out the Dead Man thing, because obviously, those two were both utterly insane stories, but they were they were the big leagues. They were Batman and Superman. I want to see how insane he gets with Dead Man, where no one gives a shit.
Yeah,
we know someone who cares about Dead Man an awful lot.
Well, I mean, I care about Dead Man, but I think he's a weirder character because of his power set, so there's potential there for him to get really, really weird with his powers, but anyway, so...
You know what I want? I want a Kid Eternity book meets Dead Man, and they're just possessing people the whole time. Like... No? Kid Eternity not ringing any bells for you guys?
No, go on, Matt. Okay. Drop your obscure knowledge on us.
He was basically a character that he would die and come back with new superpowers, and he could possess people as one of them. So
that's like Resurrection Man.
Yeah. I might be confusing the two because they both showed up around the same time. So I'll get back to you guys on that. But anyways, I remember Kid Eternity having something to do with possession. So, might have just been for story art.
I like how he was giving us, he was like, oh, not ringing any bells for you two, and then he get confused like a minute later, and he's like, oh, maybe I'm mixing it up with someone else. All high and mighty, and then it all came crashing down. So that's what's coming up. In terms of news this week, we don't have any sort of concrete stuff for the comics, but there's a couple of teases from various people. One which is kind of hopefully that's what I think it means. Brian Hitch tweeted out this week that he is... he's like, oh, guess what book I'm working on, and guess who's writing it, which would imply that he's not the one writing it, which I think is the main news here, is that Brian Hitch will just be doing art for his next book, which is good news to everyone, I think.
It's good news. Better news would be he's not on anything that's DC.
I concur with that statement, but this is vastly superior to him writing a book.
Yes, I'll take what I can get.
It's vastly superior. Unless he's just trolling and he's just going to be and it's me, in which case, you asshole, how dare you get my hopes up like that.
That would be hilarious though.
It would.
The trolling Matt is appreciating that, even though you don't want him to either.
No, I just won't read it, whatever it is. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, I say that now, and they would probably give him Connor Kent, and so I'd be forced to.
Coming from Brian Hitch, Connor Kent, and
I'd be so mad.
Booster Gold team up to take on the universe. He has nothing. Okay, we will swiftly move on. The other thing that was, again, it was also kind of a smaller tweet type of thing, but Tim Sale revealed that he is working on multiple Batman projects for DC. And when was the last time Tim Sale worked at DC? It's been a while, right?
On an ongoing, yeah, but he's been doing those Batman covers.
Oh, he's doing
the
covers.
variants.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
Doing
since the
variants.
start of Rebirth.
In terms of actually a book though, like interiors, it's been a long time. I think, right? Like I
Yeah.
can't remember anything.
Yeah, it's been a
I
while.
want to say it was When in Rome, the Selena Kyle story that he did with Loeb.
Yeah.
Was that When in Rome? I can't remember. I get those confused too.
That's just funny because we just did Long Halloween for the monthly bonus episode, which
Yeah.
is up for patrons. You can go check that out. But yeah, so it's just like it's been a while. And obviously, he's done some notable Batman stuff, so it'll be interesting to see what his Batman looks like now.
Yeah, we got it in it was at a convention, and it was an interview, and he mentioned that he's working with King and Higgins on the projects. So I wonder if the King one is just he's doing an arc at some point coming up.
Or even just an issue of Batman.
Could be just an issue,
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe
I'm thinking, maybe like a 2 or 3 issue, one of the fill-in arcs, like the middle arcs, like we got right now.
Yeah, it could be if 1 or 2 sort of thing. Just kind of like we had that Swamp Thing issue or whatever.
Yeah. I'm thinking like we got at the minute this current arc, I think it's like 3 issues with Joelle Jones, something like that sort of length.
Yeah, but she's coming back for more Batman.
Oh yeah.
She's back on the January story, if I remember solicits correctly. So yeah, that's cool. It's exciting. It's cool to see what it is. Don't know what Higgins is doing with Batman, unless he's doing some sort of weird follow up to New Order, perhaps.
Could be.
Don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure Sale's style would suit that.
Yeah, that's true. Unless it's the whole ending of that thing is that Dick realizes he has to be Batman, and Batman has to exist, and then it's a more hopeful tone after that, and then maybe Sale's art would work better then. I don't know.
Or he's working on like a Tim Sale Nightwing story. You know what I mean? With King and Higgins, like something like that Long Halloween, but for Nightwing.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, I think, because in the Loeb stuff, I mean, he's not in Long Halloween at all because he's not Robin yet, and then I've yet to read Dark Victory, but he factors into that.
Yeah, he's Robin in that.
My one problem with it being a Nightwing story is we wouldn't get any of the glorious cape that Tim Sale draws.
Well, Batman still may be in the story, it just wouldn't be as often.
Yeah,
but I need as much cape.
That's fine. I mean, and that defines Dick himself is the lack of the cape. I mean,
I know, but I really like the way he draws capes.
Yeah, well,
it's a little tough. You're going to get some non-cape action from him there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just not good enough.
Maybe the villain will have a cape.
The stuff that is breaking point for Connor, I'll never get. Crazy Ginger.
He picked some strange hills to die on, I have to admit.
Yeah.
Some weird ones.
Doesn't seem that strange to me.
Just hear some of the arguments we have in the TV reviews.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
As far as I'm concerned now, I just want Sale to do no capes, like Edna from Incredibles. No capes.
No cape policy, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and then in terms of other stuff, just to switch over to the movies. Obviously, we had Zachary Levi was announced as Shazam a couple of weeks ago. This one's not confirmed yet, but again, we're in talks, apparently. Mark Strong is in talks for Dr. Savannah in the Shazam movie.
I love it.
It's pretty cool. Obviously, if you remember, he also played Sinestro in the 2011 Green Lantern movie. But since that was a giant...
That's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, it's a big turd that everyone wants to forget. We can just have him as a new villain. And it's kind of insane, though, how much, like, they squandered that. Like, he is perfect for Sinestro, but because it was in that movie, it's just going to be forgotten in time now because...
Yeah, it's a shame, because he was great still.
Yeah, but the rest of it's obviously not.
And I kind of want them to use the not like super evil Savannah that we kind of got in 52. I kind of want them to use the one from the Johns and Frank. Like he gets kind of he gets kind of possessed by the power, and that's what starts to drive him. Yeah, and that's what differentiates him from Luthor.
I just want I want a proper mad because Luthor's kind of left the mad scientist thing behind. Over the
evil
decades.
Businessman.
Yeah, so what I want from Savannah in that movie is just complete mad scientist. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he starts from a good place, and he gets because Mark Strong can do slow burn crazy, I think.
Oh yeah. I like Mark Strong a lot. So
also, just while we're on it, I wanted to mention. I don't even hate that Green Lantern movie anymore. I can't bring myself to hate it after we've had, BVS and such. It's like that just seems like okay, it was misguided, but it's hard to
I say that's wearing a shirt from that movie. I went into BVS with super low expectations. With Green Lantern, it was the complete opposite. It was during the Johns run. It was right after Blackest Night. I was beyond hyped. And when it came out and just threw a big fat 0 out there, and I'm thinking the wrong one. The Fear Entity. Help me out here. Parallax.
Parallax, yeah.
And Parallax looked like I just don't
know
what.
Cloud. He's a big shit
there
cloud. Yeah.
Pete said it.
Like Galactus in the Fantastic Four movie, of all things.
Yeah. So I feel like Green Lantern stung me way worse than BVS. So, and I mean, both of them have directors I don't think quite understood what they were doing. So, Martin Campbell, I don't think he's a bad director. Kind of like I do with Snyder.
Here's the thing, though. I could willingly sit through Green Lantern again. But if it's on, I could go, all right, it's on, whatever. But if BVS is on, I'm going to turn it off, like, immediately. I will rip the plug out of the TV if I have to. Whereas Green Lantern, it's like, someone's like, oh, this is on, you're not changing it. I'm like, fine, whatever.
He says that until we plan our audio commentary track for the extended cut of Batman v Superman that we've not told him about yet.
Really, that's the only way I would watch it again, is if I had a group of people and we could just open the crap on it. Like, that's how I watched the director's cut with my wife, or the extended cut, excuse me. Yeah.
We may as well just call it
never seen it before.
We may as well just call it the establishing shot cut. Because that's what they put back in.
When that first came out, there was a curiosity in me that was like, I kind of want to see this just to see if it is any better, but I just couldn't bring myself to sit through 3 hours of shite again.
Well, because even if the filmmaking is improved because it's not as chopped up, which is a fair thing to fix, the characterization is the main thing we all hated.
A lot of people said Lex made more sense in that version, apparently.
He still needs a jar of pee. So that's unforgivable in my eyes.
It's pretty bad.
It is.
It's funny that one of the stars of Green Lantern went on to make the new Thor movie that came out this week. So, hey.
Taika Waititi.
Small world.
I just like saying his name. It's fun.
You can check out me and Matt's review of Thor Ragnarok later on Sunday, that being tomorrow, at the time of recording. We'll be talking about that. And it might be an interesting conversation because I think we have slightly different opinions on the film.
Matt might punch him.
Just go to Twitter, and every time I can respond to Pete on Thor, I just use fart noise. Which I got a kick out of. And then he just completely no-sold me on it. And so I was like, either I made him mad, or he's just like, I'm not stupid to that level.
Yeah, so I figure when you're on one of your kicks, Matt, it's just best to just back away, let it happen.
It took my wife 5 years to figure that out. It's only taken you 4, so that's good.
Oh dear. So let's go to books then. We've got some books to talk about. So we will start with Batman the Devastator #1, Frank Tieri and Tony Daniel on art. This is the Superman Doomsday Evil Batman one shot. So we've got one left. We get Man Who Laughs. That's not next week, but that's the next one shot.
Right.
It's the next Evil Batman one shot. Obviously, we have Batman Lost, which is technically a one shot, but you know what I mean.
Well, that's how you place a metal, though.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Just to point out, it's Frank Tieri was plotting, but Tynion's actually doing the words.
Oh, I never even noticed that. Fair enough.
Yep.
Fair enough. So. Yeah, I was curious how this one was going to go, because we'd speculated a lot about, is this where he loses Superman? Is this what it's going to be? And that wasn't quite the case. And my first thought when I read this was, I think Matt's going to have some problems with this one.
Well, I'll let you guys talk, and then I'll get on my soapbox. So
okay. Yeah, I thought it was not bad. I liked it for the most part. I liked some elements more than others.
I'm really, really mixed. There are things that I like, and there are ideas that I'm down for, and then there's points where it just throws all the goodwill away.
I like... So, this comes from a world with Earth -1, I think it was, where Superman, for some reason, has went evil. Now, I actually kind of like they never actually try and tell you why or how it happened. It's just, it happened. And because I feel like if you try and justify it and you try and tell me why Superman went evil, I'm going to start poking holes in anything you tell me.
Yeah, you say that until it says that he took out the entire Justice League and Lois Lane.
Yeah, it's dark. Like, yeah, that's Superman has went completely off the deep end. But
and I kind of would have liked a little, like, yes, we just came out of October, which is basically horror month, and the unknown can be scary and terrifying. But to me here, if Superman did break that bad, and he's just gone full on, I'm taking out everything, why does this make this Batman bad for taking him out?
See, this actually goes back to what we were predicting, I think. I think this is actually still the same thing that we were saying, just in a different sense. It's the loss of Superman as an idea. Because when Superman goes bad, Batman loses that beacon of hope that he had. And it makes him feel betrayed. And that's what he kind of talks about his narration a lot in this issue.
Yeah, and I get that, but I'm reading all of a sudden he's still, unlike like the Red Death or the Murder Machine, or even the Merciless that had that twist, I still look at this, I'm like, well, this... Seeing what he does in Metal when he takes out the Crisis Tower, and seeing his actions here, I felt like there was a disconnect. Because I didn't feel like this is like a raw, I want to save this Earth. It's almost like this was his final contingency plan, and he just kind of went with it. Like, I don't feel like he had that darkness in him like these other Batmen did.
Yeah, it sounds like it was actually the Doomsday... Because he injects himself with Doomsday virus to fight Superman as a last resort. And it's almost like that, once that takes over, is when he kind of actually proper goes dark.
That's actually the moment that lost me, because I was kind of on board with this Bruce up till that point where it injects him, and then, he's like, oh, and it felt whatever he said, it felt something great. I can't remember how long it blanked it out for, but it was, it just felt like, okay, no, that just lost me, because it was like, okay, it was trying to tell me that it wasn't all Doomsday. It was, this was part of him all along, and this is just like it's just brought it out, and I just didn't like that at all.
I think that's fair. What I did like about this issue, though, I liked all the stuff in Metropolis. I liked Bruce Wayne Doomsday coming to see Lois, and then all chaos breaking loose. And I liked Supergirl and Superwoman and Guardian, who I'm glad they mentioned who it was, because I don't think I would have immediately got it.
The fact that it wasn't Jimmy Olsen, it really throws you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Jimmy being useless like the TV show, so how is I supposed to know who this Guardian was?
And that makes me think, too, I would like to see the Guardian pop up in more Super books. Like,
I feel like
it's a shame. He would have been perfect for Superwoman.
Yeah, that's fair. When was the last time he's popped up?
It's been a while, as far as I know.
I mean, because that's the key thing here. He popped up, and I'm like... Well, who? Oh, it's Guardian. Okay, right, fair enough.
Yeah, no, that's right. I haven't seen him in the books in a while. I mean, last time I remember seeing him was when I watched through Young Justice a couple of years ago.
Yeah. This is the first time he's popped up in Rebirth, at least in the books we've been reading. I mean, maybe he's popped up in Justice League where we've not been reading it or something, but...
I don't think so.
Yeah, so...
But maybe he was in the Microverse.
Yeah. But I like them showing up to... and I like Lois putting John into, like, a safe room. I thought those were fun ideas, and I like the core idea of like losing Superman as an idea that's how bad the world will go if everyone kind of like gives up on that dream. And I don't think it's the best. I mean, it's definitely not the best of these one shots by any means, and it's definitely not. It's not perfect. Like I think there is some simple things where they're going for the big shock moment value of having like you say, Batman turning into Doomsday and fighting Superman. You got Superman with the big craggly rock through his chest, for the big death shot. They're going for the big moments, and it feels a little bit hollow in that sense. Because I mean, maybe it's just a simple case of you squeeze all this into one issue, you can't really flesh it out and actually build some of the ideas in a better way. But
no, that's fair. I think it lost me at that point, but I still enjoyed the moments, and I did enjoy the infection aspect of it at the end.
Yeah, when it's infecting everyone.
We
in
had
Metropolis.
that tease. Yeah, we had that tease in what was it? Was it 2 or 3 of Metal? So
whatever one, 2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah, so to see that play out was pretty cool.
It was. I like that it's been set up well enough that we saw Metropolis was like that, and then in this one it went back a couple of days and showed us how that happened. And his whole idea is that everyone can fight Superman if everyone's Doomsday. Okay, yeah. So it's high concept nonsense, but sure.
Yeah, but at the same, I just look at that and that reasoning. It's still not.
See, that's the thing. That's the part I'm kind of okay with. It was that moment where it implied that this was Bruce and not just the Doomsday stuff that really kind of lost me.
I mean, I guess if you want to try and explain away your problem there is that, yeah, the narration says that it's always been in there deep down, but is that just his reasoning because he's infected by Doomsday? Because it's him narrating it. Is he trustworthy as a...
Well, I believe that he does have a plan for if Clark ever does go. I mean, that's Batman, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's got a plan for
but
everyone.
He trusts himself enough that he can be able to talk him down. And when this opens, you feel like he's tried, because the fact that he's going at him with a kryptonite spear, which that cracked me up.
That tweet from Snyder as well is that the sole reason this book should exist.
Yeah.
It was that scene there is like, not a Martha uttered.
No,
could have used more Marthas. I think we should have had more Marthas. I think Lois should find out her mother's real name was Martha. I think every character in the DCU, their real mother's name is Martha. Like, Dick, your mother's name's not Mary.
Look,
it's
I'm
Martha.
telling you, Clark and Lois's next kid is going to be a daughter called Martha.
Yeah, you're right. You're so right. Yeah.
If that happens, I'm gonna be so mad.
It's gonna be a little girl named Martha, and then Bruce is going to walk in and go, "Oh, I'm glad you named her after my mother, Clark," and then just walk back out with a smug look on his face.
Uh-huh.
That's the plan.
Actually, Damien needs to go. You're named after my grandma.
I like the idea. By this point, like by the time he's saying that to this kid who, let's say that she's grown up to Damien's age, Damien will be like 18 at this point, and he'll still be enough of a dick to just say that to this like 10-year-old kid or whatever.
Oh, Damien's never changing. Damien's going to be just as blunt with kids as he is with adults now.
Oh,
That's just Damien.
I like to feel that Damien's a little bit on the spectrum, just because he tells people how they feel because he doesn't know that he's not supposed to. So, it works that a little bit.
I think that's how you emulate it in a real world setting. But obviously here it's because he was raised by assassins and not trod in the same way that kids typically are.
He doesn't understand social structures.
Yes.
No. Well, and that's part of autism. They don't understand social structures and social interaction, and that's. I mean, if I was at DC, I'd be kind of edging towards that because that was one of the cool things I liked on Big Bang Theory. They kind of embraced that a little bit.
What?
So it gave kids. Yeah, it gave kids. This is what I've heard from my. Yeah, this is what I've heard from the autism teacher I work with. And then it let kids know that we're autistic. Like, hey, look, you can still go on and become a scientist.
I don't think I'm comfortable with the phrase. The one thing I like about the Big Bang Theory being uttered on this show, I just don't think I'm comfortable with that sentence.
And actually,
sorry, man.
I'm gonna go back against that a little bit because I remember there was a whole there used to be this running joke at the start with he's been tested and he's actually completely normal. He was always like, no, I've been tested. So it was like, no, I'm not on the spectrum. I'm not, and it's like,
yeah, well,
and that kind of is the opposite message.
Things change over time, and I could see them just embracing it. But I feel like Damien's a perfect character for that because, he's still this superhero, but he's someone like them that they can relate to and not like in the ninja way. You know what I mean?
And not in the ninja way.
Yeah, not in the ninja way.
I think every kid can relate to the ninja way.
Yes, who hasn't jumped over the couch throwing shurikens.
Swing this back round to the book. I like the art quite a bit.
It's Tony Daniel doing Superman and Batman.
His art's always great. Yeah. He's one of those where don't like his writing, but I think his art's fantastic.
Yeah. Unlike Hitch, though, I actually do like his art. So
yeah.
So there's a difference there, but the art was really strong, which was, I think, it made it a lot more enjoyable for me because at least those big moments where you did have Superman stabbed through the chest, it looked good. It was really well drawn.
Well, even when he faces off with Batman. And he hasn't changed at all. It's still the Superman we know. But just his posture, the way that Daniel drew him.
Yeah, he didn't put some ridiculous evil costume on him or anything like that, or put spikes on his shoulders or whatever.
Yeah, just the glowing red eyes mostly.
Yeah. Nice and simple, yeah. And the side characters all look good. I liked Lois and John, I liked Supergirl, Superwoman. I thought they all looked...
I like his Lois. I feel like we didn't get enough of it in Superman Wonder Woman because it was Superman Wonder Woman, But I like the way that Daniel draws Lois too. It was a classic look to her.
Yeah, if anything in Superman Wonder Woman, she was the antagonist love interest. If she popped up, she was the one who was causing trouble with the main couple.
Well, she actually got close with Wonder Woman at a certain point because she knew Clark better than most. So, that was cool. But it wasn't like she was in every issue. But yeah, no, I miss Tony Daniel. I don't know what he's been working on lately. I know he has Damage coming out. Because we got ads for that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to trying that and seeing how it is.
Yeah.
That's next month, I think.
Yeah. These Dark Matter books, the new age of DC heroes as they're calling it now. Dark Matter just rolls off the tongue better. Just call them Dark Matter.
It does.
But
I kind of have the feeling though that they're doing that in case it doesn't stick. So they don't have like this failed imprint brand.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the point. Is they don't want it to be seen as a line now. They just want it to be a new batch of books that goes with the rest. So I get the thinking in that sense, but it's easy to grip them and talk about them if you've got a name to.
No.
That's true, but I do like the new logo.
I didn't notice it.
Just a little, the little red circle one that kind of pops out. It's nice.
Okay. All right, well, I think we'll move on then to the other metal-related book, which is the second part of Bats Out of Hell. It is Justice League number 32, Robert Venditti on writing and Liam Sharp on art, which is obviously a nice surprise. We've not seen Liam Sharp since Wonder Woman ended, or not ended, but you know what I mean. Rucka's run ended. So yeah,
for some people, Wonder Woman might have ended after that, though. So you're kind of right.
For some people,
wasn't there something recently about what he's working on next?
Yeah.
It was like tweets and stuff. It wasn't like super.
Yeah.
Official,
I think it was all on the site that shall not be named.
Yes,
they had something about it, and I remember going, "Oh, this sounds interesting."
Yeah, I want to say Swamp Thing, but I think I might be pulling that out of my ass.
Well, no, because Capullo's doing Swamp Thing.
Capullo tweeted that he was doing a Swamp Thing thing.
Yeah.
Thing. Anyway,
what was Capullo writing and Sharp doing the art?
Well, no,
that'd be so weird.
That would be weird.
That'd be insane.
Well, I mean, he's written before. I mean, he has Creech, so Anyways,
but yeah, so Justice League 32. This was obviously it was a very well drawn issue, like very pretty, a lot of really fun images, fun action in there because you get a chunk of like Flash fighting, the Red Death, you get a chunk of Wonder Woman fighting the Merciless, you get a chunk of Aquaman fighting the Drowned, and you get some Cyborg narration. Cyborg's talking about how he used to be on a team when he was playing football, and now he's on a team now with Justice League, and he's trying to be there for his teammates, and he can.
As a fan of American football, I feel like they've moved his position on the football field with every new iteration. Because here now he's a wide receiver.
Matt,
as far as I knew,
wasn't he a quarterback?
I thought he was a quarterback at one point. He was a running back.
But Matt, here's the thing: it's whatever metaphorically works for the story they're telling.
I guess those are such different positions, man. Like they ask you to do different things.
I'm assuming this one, what is it, wide receiver? You said, is this one that's supporting the rest of the team? Is that the?
Not really.
Okay,
wide receiver's a big play. They go down the field, catch the ball. That's why quarterback, because with the quarterback, like as being kind of as a facilitator for the Justice League and more than just a boom tube operator. Mm-hmm. He could be on the satellite and look over. Everything, and he knows where all the pieces are, and he can run the offense, right? But now that he's a wide receiver, he's just a piece of that. So I thought that was a weird change out of Venditti.
Okay.
Which, not a Venditti thing to do. Just change random characterization,
Okay.
I'll be honest, on this one, I think you might be the only one that cares.
Well, I mean, there might be.
On this point. I never remembered what position he played last time they talked about it.
Of course. But I liked how he broke down each of the, what they bring to the team. That said, this issue was rough. Took me 2 settings to read, just because I was just like, what else do I got?
I don't think it was rough. I think it was fine. My problem with the issue is that when we got to the end, because it basically builds up, and then the one that it kind of leaves till the end is Green Lantern, and we just see that it's like the idea that he's the one who has the willpower. He might be the one link in the chain who can maybe fight back here and maybe win. But it just sort of teases it, and then you find out that they're using Cyborg against him. But my problem with this issue is that basically the end of it, the cliffhanger, feels like we've not really moved from the cliffhanger last time. They're still all in their separate caves. None of them have won. Nothing's really progressed, other than the fact that they've had some fights. And
I feel I know how they're going to win. They're going to switch off. Like, Flash is going to have to defeat the Drowned, and
okay.
Dawn or Green Lantern's gonna have to defeat the Merciless, and
When you said switch
they're all
off,
gonna
I thought
trade.
you meant stop using their powers or like
Yeah,
Cyborg
I thought you meant
has to turn
No.
off.
shut down Cyborg or something.
No,
But
well, maybe that too.
honestly, I'm not feeling this crossover at all.
I like the Flash stuff. I like this one not so much.
I like it from a concept, but I've not enjoyed reading either issue.
That's fair.
I just
Gotham Resistance was definitely better out the gate. Like we were kind of into it right from the start. And the
I
first
feel that
issue
was its
good.
own story, and this definitely feels like a tie-in. I like that it kind of fleshes out the Dark Knights, and we get more of them, and we see them interacting with the proper DC universe. But it feels like filler a little bit.
I have a question. Was the Red Death always that hard to read, his words?
No, they've done this thing, because they've got the whole thing where Barry's still kind of in there and he's fighting. Well, they've changed the effect a little bit, so it's kind of like the two bubbles are out of sync, but it's actually harder to read now.
That's it. I didn't think it was the same effects. I don't remember having this problem before, but I had to really, really struggle to read what he was saying. And that doesn't help when that's like, the first third of the book, say, pretty much is after the intro, that it's the Flash stuff, and really hard to get into the book when I'm having to read everything like 3 times.
Honestly, I'm someone who I'm a fan of decompressed stories. Some people hate when not much happens. I like taking a nice slow pace through a book, but this one I legitimately felt I got to the end and went, nothing's progressed since the end of the last issue. We're still in the exact same place. Outside of maybe some of the fighting's happened, but that's about it. I mean, not all of it was fun. They flash Batmobile and then they flash Mad Max army of vehicles. Sure, it was a fun image. Yeah, it looked cool.
Mm-hmm. Like I say, I enjoy this in concept, and I enjoy the art because it's Liam Sharp. He's great.
Yeah.
But when I'm actually reading it, I'm kind of feeling a bit bored.
Because it's not advancing anything. Nothing's really
That's
really
probably
happening.
It, yeah. That is, yeah.
Well, that's why I put it down to see what else I had to read, just because I was like, I'll come back to this. So, because I read this right after Devastator. That was my second read. Well, second 1.5 read, I guess.
So, yeah, I mean, hopefully it picks up. It's funny because I remember Gotham Resistance, we were saying, oh, maybe this could have used an extra issue or 2 just to flesh it out. This is the opposite, or I'm like, no, maybe this could have done with condensing it down to another, just 2 or 3 issues instead of 4, but we'll
definitely.
We'll see how it goes next week.
I did look up the article about what Sharp's working on next. Apparently it's Batman Wonder Woman, and it's expected in February, so we should get it in the next solicits.
Cool.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Is that ongoing or a mini? What's?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
Obviously, this is all just rumors at the minute, but if we should find out soon enough.
It's all speculative. Yeah, there's no been official announcements. So we'll find out. What's next week's issue of this, by the way? The crossover, is it?
Hal.
Is it Hal? Right, okay.
Hal and Pals. That's why it ended that way, because Venditti's doing both.
It's going to be Green Lantern's focus next week. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That makes some amount of sense, but probably could have used with cutting an issue. But anyway, so we'll move on to other stuff. So Batman number 34, Tom King, Joelle Jones. Turns out we were a little incorrect. We were speculating that they were going to find Talia.
Mm-hmm.
To either they had to do something with an all-year-old marriage or something like that. It turns out no, it's actually the Holly stuff where she killed a lot of people. Catwoman got blamed for it. So what they're actually trying to do here is clear Catwoman's name, so that legally she's not on the run when they're getting married, which is a fair goal. I'll give them that.
He's still marrying him next con. So.
I thought they'd kind of forgotten about that because it was kind of brushed over at the end of that story.
Well, I think for us emotionally, it was done because we knew it wasn't her. Because we were worried that she was actually a killer, and then they resolved that for us, so it wasn't a big deal to us after that.
Yeah, I remember saying it was a bit weird because she left like she was on the run, and then she kind of just showed back up in the next story, and it wasn't mentioned. But
they're dealing with it here. So we've got Batman and Catwoman fighting Talia's army, anticipating her coming out. It is full of great banter where he's it's kind of classic relationship stuff where he's putting his foot in it. And he's like, did I tell you look really pretty? It's like, you're in so much trouble. As she's got her legs wrapped around a soldier's neck and she's whipping people and all sorts of nonsense. So it's really fun in that sense. And of course Talia coming out and be like, detective! And, just that fight that ensues. And we end with a big cliffhanger that Catwoman and Talia are going to go toe-to-toe in sword combat. So,
I like that she pulls the
She's-
sword out of Bruce.
Yeah, out of Bruce. I was trying to make a cat pun, but I can't make it. But Selena's definitely the underdog here. Like,
The undercap.
yeah,
It
that's
just
not a
doesn't
thing,
work
though.
as well, does it?
Doesn't
No.
no.
That's why I didn't say it, Pete. Now you look like the fool.
I was just vocalizing what you were thinking, Matt. That's all.
Hey, Connor, you know what else he looked like the fool with?
Oh, here we go.
When he didn't recognize Starfire.
Yes.
What a dick.
So honestly, my favorite part of this issue. I mean, I liked the whole issue. I liked it a lot. It was a very quick read.
Yeah.
I was done with this in like 6 minutes. It went super fast, and the
Of course, you time yourself how long it takes.
roughly.
Yeah, robot.
I just looked at the time after it was done. I wasn't. Jesus Christ, Matt! Come on now. But like, it was a super quick read. Art was beautiful, of course, going throughout. Joelle Jones doing her thing. My favorite part of the issue, though, was actually the scene with Damien and Dick. And Superman. So Superman,
Yep.
they're at the entrance to this cave, and Talia and Batman and Catwoman are all inside. And Superman's like, "No, Damien, I can't let you in. The UN, we've got an agreement. No one gets in. That includes you. You're just going to have to wait until he comes out."
Yep.
I don't know what he's doing. And then he's like, "Oh, there's an invasion in Central City. Fly off." And Damien's like, Dick, no, you'll still see you from Central City. He's like, I know. And,
I like the bit where when Superman shows up, he's like, everyone fights you with kryptonite. I'll just take you down with magic.
yeah. Then he describes how he would do it, and Clark's just like,
Uh.
"Yeah, I believe you could, but then John probably wouldn't want to go on adventures with you anymore." So
Yeah.
he's like,
It's the perfect way to disrupt a 13-year-old like Damien. Just be like, yeah, sure, buddy. But, I love that scene so much. I love Damien interacting with people that we don't normally see. And so, like, but in Super Sons, we've gotten it a little bit more than normal with Superman.
Do you know what I want now? After this little statement from Damien, I actually want a story in the future where either Superman's been mind controlled or he's on red kryptonite or whatever, but I want, for whatever reason, for Damien to be the one that has to deal with them and just see the fight. Yeah. I want Damien to have to try and take Superman down.
I'd like a story of Damien going to we've got that DC Hogwarts book,
Mystic Academy.
Yeah, Mystic U.
I want Damien to go there and be like, teach me. I need to learn.
Yeah.
I need to know how to take down Superman.
Well, I feel that'd be perfect for his character to know some magic. Like, we've seen in different versions of Batman him messing with it a little bit, but I feel like Damien would fully embrace it. And maybe that's what, they hinted at in Detective, in the last issue, with Damien not being in full control, when he became Batman, as that maybe he played with some dark forces that didn't work out so well, But I definitely could see him embracing the magic and becoming like Magic Batman. That'd be cool.
But of course, the moment after this where Damien's like, "Oh, I'm just going to wait down." Dick sits down, I'll wait with you, buddy. And he's like, "It's like you and me till the end, always." And it's like, "Oh yeah, Dick and Damien, the greatest, always." Yep. God damn it.
Yeah, Damien's actually like, he's really nice with Dick. He's like, "Yeah, thanks for coming. No one else would."
Yeah.
He's really, really sincere with Dick, isn't he?
Yeah, these guys have brought out playing Cheese Viking, so like, once you do that, you're brothers forever.
I do kind of like the idea that he's even more kind of honest with Dick than he is with Bruce in the way he talks to him, because he's because you're never, when you're a kid, you're never that honest with your parents. You can't speak to them the same way that you speak to your peers, and this is kind of what this is. This is the big brother kind of relationship.
And they definitely, Dick's much more of his mentor than Bruce is.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It goes back to the early days for Damien, where he spent so much time learning from Dick, and then Bruce kind of came back, and it was like, okay, now what do I do now? What's my place in this relationship? That's what a lot of the Tomasi and Gleason run was about. Yeah. So of course he has that relationship with Dick already.
No, so this is a really sweet moment, and it's full of sweet moments. Honestly, Batman and Catwoman, like, in their banter throughout, and especially the thing where she's the most dangerous woman on the planet, and Catwoman's like, seriously? It's like, well, no, you're not dangerous to me. Well, we'll see after this who you think with your ex.
It was such a good little relationship thing right there.
Yeah,
because you never see Batman being awkward. Like, that's one thing
what
he's
it was.
not.
Yeah, it was awkward. Yeah. And I especially loved that after like she's like dealt with a bunch of the soldiers. She's like, yeah, most dangerous. Yeah, right. It's me. I'm dangerous. No, it's a super fun issue. I'm enjoying this. It's a nice change of pace after War Jokes and Riddles, which of course was fantastic, but this is just something different to.
Yeah, it's a shift of gears.
Yeah,
it's a testament to King's ability that we can jump between two drastically different styles of story, yet both of them are great.
Yeah. So, no, Batman 34, really, really good stuff, and obviously Joelle Jones's art is fantastic throughout. I think her Catwoman especially.
I'm just kind of looking at the books. I'm going, it's going to be really hard to pick best art this week.
It's not week 3 tough, but it's pretty tough.
It's up there.
So yeah, that's Batman. So that'll take us on to Superman 34. Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason writing, Ed Beans or Ben S. and Jack Herbert on art. So we have the family have been transported to Apocalypse because of all the hubbub with Lex Luthor right now, and we get mostly a Lois-focused issue with Lois, with the Fatal Furies and them kind of like, you know, Granny Goodness is like impressed by her when she actually fights back, because for a while she's like chained up and she can't do anything, and then she gets impressed with her, you know, like, oh, she likes to cut off her jib.
Well, she saves them from that gigantic worm.
Yeah, a couple of them get killed. They just get fried outright. And Lois goes all badass in Mad Max, which is actually probably the thing this felt most. Even though Mad Max doesn't have monsters in it, for some reason I was getting this Mad Max feel to the plot in this one.
Lois is Furiosa.
Basically, yeah.
Fury. Yeah. Mad Max Fury's Road.
That's good.
No, I thought this show was fine. This is not. When we got Gleason and Tomasi back, I wasn't expecting something like this. You know, like with Imperious Lex, and
I have to say I enjoyed this a lot more than the last issue. I thought the last one was all right, but this one I thought was a lot more fun. You know, you got all that lower stuff. You've got Lex being really slimy, which was again really fun.
Was he being slimy though?
Well, kind of.
I mean, that's the impression. That's the way I took it. Yeah.
Because he's basically like, yeah, by the way, guys, like, give me that prophecy back that told you I was going to be the new god of Apocalypse.
Well, because he used it to his advantage, right? And now, though, he's letting them know. So I don't think it's necessarily being slimy.
Oh, no, it really felt like, I'm getting myself out of this. Hey, I did this while it was good for me, but hey, here's Superman.
Yeah. He's back-talking. He's like, hey, you know who doesn't bleed? That guy.
Yeah, he's the one you want.
Exactly.
So, to me, that's not slimy. I mean, I guess it is, because he's, you know, trying to slither out of something, but I just looked at it as self-preservation versus...
I think that is slimy for Luthor, though, because it's not self-preservation. He could do this. He just doesn't want to.
Yeah, I look at, like, Littlefinger making backroom deals. That's slimy to me. Like in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Here, Lex is not so much, doing the backroom deal, just going, that's the guy you want. And it was, I love this Luthor, and it's going to be sad. I say it every time when he goes back to being evil Lex.
I'm really glad it's lasted as long as it has, though, because I think when it started, way back in Forever Evil, this kind of started, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Right after.
It kind of felt like, okay, this is going to be just a temporary thing, but. Yeah, it's been a good 3-4 years at least now.
3, I think.
3. So yeah, I mean,
no, because Forever Evil, we're going on 4. Because Forever Evil ended in 2014.
Yeah, so 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, glad we agree.
Going on 4. Because he's still a good guy.
Yeah, because it started at the end of Forever Evil. Like, that was kind of it propelled him into it. So it's been 3 years we've had him as a good guy.
I'd guess like the start of Forever Evil though was kind of the start of this journey, because that's when he stepped up, wasn't it?
3-4 years doesn't matter. Who was making a point? Connor, move on.
I will say I was a little bit surprised.
Matt, I will bitch slap you in a minute.
I saw the variant cover and realised this was the 800 issue of Superman.
Yeah,
it is, yeah.
And as much as I enjoyed this did not feel like an 800th issue.
That's a very good point, actually. It's almost like they realised later on, we're hitting these milestones with Superman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Batman, But I don't feel like, at least with this one, which came first, maybe they did, we should have maybe wrote an important issue for this one, because it's meant to be the 800 issue.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of respect it that they're going, well, no, we're not interrupting the story flow. Just tell your story like you were, because I think sometimes there's always a problem where you kind of get dragged out to do
what they could have done, though, is they could have made it, like, made it a bigger issue to celebrate the fact that it's 800 and just give it as more of the story.
Yeah. No, maybe they could have.
Simple as that. I don't know.
I mean, it's a nice variant cover though, at least.
Yeah, the art's mostly pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it's solid. I really like how nice and orange it is. It's got a real nice glow to it.
Yeah.
I love how Lois looks so out of place. She's just wearing like a sweater and like a shirt, and she looks so normal compared to everyone else who's in this ridiculous apocalypse gear. Until like Granny Goodness is like, "Hey, put this on," and then she's in like this Mad Max armor at the end.
Yeah. You earned it. That's what I liked.
Yeah, and she's been through some shit, because at the end she's like just biting off like this bit of meat. She's like, "Yeah, I'll eat this. So, I'm a savage now."
And then poor John, he's out, Yeah,
he's running away from the dogs.
Yeah, big metal dogs, and the people want to eat him. Yeah, he's.
I don't think they're metal dogs. I think they just got armor.
He's got armor. Yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're the dog soldiers of Apocalypse. We saw them in Final Crisis.
Just some metal plating on the top.
Yeah, you're right. The jaws are actually still flesh. You're right.
Metal dogs would have been cool as well, though.
There would have been. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Kingsman 2 not that long ago. Metal dog's on the brain, like a good robot dog. Yeah. So there wasn't actually. I thought it was going to jump around the three of them a bit more evenly, but it ended up being more of a Lois focused issue with just a little bit of Joe at the end, a little bit of Superman at the start.
Yeah, I imagine the next one will probably be mostly John.
Yeah,
with, a bit of Superman, a little bit of Lois. Especially
since we end in that cliffhanger with him running away from these guys, so it makes sense. I thought it was fine. I think it was obviously the best issue of Superman, but it was a far cry better than anything we'd had before the last issue.
It was an enjoyable issue of Superman, though.
It was an enjoyable issue of Superman, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Cool.
I like how Matt's the one who's a bit down on it. He's like...
This is... Yeah, I think he just holds Superman to a higher standard than we do.
I do, and the fact that it was just like... I feel like they're just tying up loose ends before Doomsday Clock. Like this whole Dark Side stuff, and it was a fine issue, but it wasn't like at the level that I thought it was going to continue.
No, I don't think it was like at top form, but I think it was. I'm just glad to be enjoying Superman and going, oh, this is really enjoyable and fun to read, and I'm like, and I feel like it's been a good few months since I've had that feeling. So in that sense, to me, this is quite good.
Yeah.
Yep, I concur. As much as I hate to concur with him. So let's move on to what are we on next? Green Lanterns number 34. Tim Seeley writing, Ronan Cliquet on art. So you got the Lanterns. They're trying to save this planet. All the aliens are like, no, we don't want to leave because of our religion. And Jess has to try and convince them to leave. Meanwhile, Simon tries to whip out that healing power that he's had once before and save the daughter that we met last issue on the ship.
Let's talk about covers not representing at all what's in the book.
Let me glance at the cover again before I agree or disagree with that, because I don't remember.
Look at the cover and what it says.
Oh, I'm getting up. Beware Lizeth. She's gonna steal your heart. Okay, yeah. That's. I mean, I guess the only thing I can maybe relate in the book to that is that after they've saved the day, they've saved the planet, they've saved her. She's at a concert and she comes backstage and says, "Hey Simon, thanks for saving me. Come back next time and I'll thank you properly."
Yeah.
That is the closest it gets to that cover.
I'm thinking zombie turn as I open this, going, "Oh, she died. Something's gonna happen with the solar flare, and she's a monster that he's gonna have to take out." And then he heals her, and we get the great story from the mom about how she was like a war orphan, and she took her in and helped her change her whole view on that world and whatnot. And it was really nice. Nothing stealing my heart though, or Simon's.
That sure was good, yeah. But I get the complaint doesn't match the cover. I like the variant cover actually. I just noticed it.
I'm wishing I got the variant cover.
That is a nice cover. I have one real problem with this issue.
Oh, here we go.
Which
Go on.
is
See, this is a roundabout problem. It's the art, but not specifically the art in this issue. I really I think it looks great, but it's so tonally different to the last issue.
Yeah, I prefer the last issue's art, I have to say.
No, me too, but I think this is still pretty good. But it's so different, and this is only 2 issues into a run. It feels like it's so inconsistent already that it's just a little bit disappointing.
I don't think it's. You say it's 2 issues into a run. It's into the writer's run, but the art team's pretty much the same as before. So I feel it's the artist rotation is just kind of what it already was.
It is, but I feel like you want to. I remember, the first arc of every other book, like of all the books and runs, they made a point of kicking off with some consistency and going. At least, like the aim was always to have at least an.
Oh
arc.
yeah, but the reason why I'm sort of picking apart your complaint there is like I agree with the complaint. I just don't think you can blame it on this new run. It's just
no, I think it sticks out more. And
yeah.
I did point out a few times in the previous run, especially when it was in the middle of story arcs,
Yeah.
where it shifted
I
dramatically.
think Green Lanterns has always been the most guilty of the double shipping hurting its art consistency.
arts.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad.
But like you say, it's usually good art. It's just inconsistent is the thing. So obviously we have more flashbacks. Jessica actually got the job, which I was not expecting based on the scene in the last issue. Even though he's like, you can start in the kitchen. We'll see how you cope before we feed you to the public, which is I'm okay with that plan. Simon, on the other hand, is not, and the person hired him's as nice as possible about it, but you're right. We need trust on the crew, and if they Google your name, they're going to see those words. And I'm sorry, this is the way it has to be. So she's very honest about it and kind of nice about it, but it's still like coming back to bite him. It's still kind of the same block that he had. But no, so the issue ends that Simon actually has a new place. He moves out of his sister's, and he's living in essentially a Lantern space station.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Sector 2814, so I assume close to Earth. Speaking of, when they're evacuating the planet, do you actually, when he makes this big racetrack to like evacuate all the people, I assume everyone noticed the 1989 Batmobile on the racetrack.
I did not. I was just looking at the looping and the like the Hot Wheels track, which funnily enough they did in the Green Lantern movie, and that was kind of lame there. But here, it makes sense. That's what Simon would do, since he's such a gearhead. I mean, he has an engine in his room he can work on, which I thought was funny. But now I'm gonna have to pull this up and look.
Yeah, it's just on the left. It's like just behind like the first car in your view, I think.
Yeah. Also, running to the idea that I love Jessica's ring and the ring's attitude. When she's, because obviously from last issue she was like struggling to hold everything up, and the ring was like, we're reaching maximum capacity, and in this issue the ring says, you're stretching me further than those yoga pants that you still have from college.
Yeah.
Oh, I love her ring so much. It's so good.
Oh, yep, there it is. And half the aliens look stoked to be up in space, the other half look terrified. I love it.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. No, I didn't love this as much as last issue, but it was a solid conclusion to it. There was still a lot of fun moments. And obviously the big intrigue at the end is that it turns out that the ship was sabotaged by Keshkar, who wants to bring the planet back to like hating everyone and being powerful and not follow the teachings of Abin Sur and all that stuff. So he wants Angara to become evil again, basically, and turn them against the Green Lantern Corps. He ends up killing his henchmen. So as much as this was kind of just a 2-issue thing, it has actually set up this, I assume, a big villain we're going to be dealing with going forward.
Yeah, and some other stuff, like you mentioned how the ring has a personality. It seems maybe it's a little bit creepy.
Yeah, because Jessica goes to sleep, and we see like green, almost like 2 green figures kind of appear watching over her as she sleeps. Yeah.
And and she hasn't even got the ring on, and it's still talking to her.
Yeah. It's actually very spooky. It almost looks like a radiation monster, I'm going to call it.
Yeah. Well, you can Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. I could see. I could almost see a 50s sci-fi movie with this green figure being the villain.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. But I love how she has a little Flash figure on her bedside table.
Yeah.
I never
That's
even noticed that
of
the
course
first time. That's pretty good.
Of course you do.
I don't know. What do you mean? Of course you do. How many people have an action figure of their crush sitting on their table?
If I could, I would. They made Jessica Chastain action figures. It would be right next to CM Punk. I might have just revealed too much about myself.
Wait. You didn't say your wife. You said Jessica Chastain. Oh, I feel like.
Yeah, you said your crush, not your. They're not together, right? Barry's still dealing with stuff from Iris, so it's fine.
True. But they were one. Okay. Even weirder then. Your kind of ex has an action figure, and you've got them on your bedside table.
That's weird.
Right,
That's
there you go.
At all. That's bad news bears.
Unhealthy, one might say. Yeah. Although we're not getting straight to this villain that we introduced, we're getting a goofier villain because we end with this little tease for next issue. What's his name here? Balthunga. Who is arguing with one of those big wavy men that you get at the used car places.
Crazy
I
arms.
love it.
Yeah, the crazy arms.
Yeah.
And it's green, and he's demanding to take him to the Green Lanterns of Earth. It's actually a really funny ending. I'm not gonna lie, I was cracking up.
I love how he just explodes it. It's
I also love
you won't talk.
He's using a megaphone to talk to it as well, which is my favorite part of the whole thing.
Did he bring the megaphone, or did he find the megaphone?
I mean, he could have found it at the used car place.
That's what I'm saying. I love Balthunga. He's such the foil for Guy Gardner, so I want to see how he interacts with these two.
Yeah, it's gonna be
it
fun.
should be a whole lot of fun. Yeah.
I like how he calls it your insipid joy dance.
Yeah. He also calls him a tall and wheedling creature of soul. Like, it's just.
I feel like him interacting with Jess and Simon's going to be gold. I'm expecting a funny issue next time.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with Jess.
And we know that Seeley can do comedy through Nightwing and Gleason, so you know.
It's the perfect counterbalance because the previous page is that creepy green figure watching over Jessica, and then we go to this
the previous page.
The previous page, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go to the next page, and it's wavy arms, green thing.
It's such a great transition. You can, if that's a movie, you can see the edit of how it fades into being the wavy arm man.
And you just have this stupid looking alien with a megaphone shouting at it, "Take me to your leader," which is basically it. I think that's why he's asking him. It's because it's green. He's like, "Oh, you must be a Green Lantern related thing." So.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. No. So it's all this. I like the last one a little bit more, but I have little complaints. So, Seeley's doing a good job on Green Lanterns. That'll take us on to Green Arrow number 34. Benjamin Percy writing, Stephen Byrne on art. So, this is moving forward from where we were before. We ended with the last issue with Moira showing up. And I'll be honest, I'm surprised that she's basically immediately like, yeah, I'm with the Ninth Circle. You need to help me though, because they want me dead now. I did it for good reasons.
She basically goes, Nine Circle's good. It's been corrupted though, so help me.
But that's what they always say when they need help. That guys always say that. That wasn't our original.
I was going to ask Matt what you meant by they. Like, who's they that always say this?
No, just like anytime you have this evil corporation, but someone close to the hero is working for it, and like, oh no, that wasn't our original cause. It's just been corrupted since then. But it was like the guy who runs his name.
Creepy as shit masks, but whatever.
Well, but like.
We're a friendly, cuddly bunch, but we all wear these satanic-looking masks. Yeah.
Yeah, but even looking at Dante, right, who's supposed the leader. So what? These people just named it Ninth Circle for kicks and giggles. Come on, Moira. But yeah, this I like. Usually, I don't like when they dredge up like dead parents. Oh, I've actually been alive this whole time. But I feel this time it really works, especially for Oliver and with his dad and his dad's secret life, and now balancing this, we have his mom. So it's like he's gonna have more parental issues than Batman.
Yeah, I think it works, Oliver, because he hasn't been hung up on his parents. It's not part of his motivation for anything. It's just part of his history. So it's not like a driving force. This doesn't undermine anything about what he does.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, I'm not like I thought this issue was fine. I do say, I mean, I wasn't necessarily loving the flashbacks to Moira's childhood and how she became who she was. I'm like, whatever. I'm not.
I really like the page layout. You know, the one where she gets married and it goes through all that.
Yeah.
I love the page layout for that with the the flower border.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, the art's good. I mean, Stephen Byrne.
Yeah, she didn't start with money, so it's like we show that she can scrape and scrap, and if she is telling the truth, she can write the Ninth Circle. I don't believe her. I feel like it's just a power.
Very much some versions of Lex, though, isn't it?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah. I think that's just, like I said, that was fine, but I think a lot of it was taken up with flashbacks of her story, and then we got like a flashback of why Diggle's working with Merlin. That was like fine. It's just kind of explaining things, but it wasn't particularly exciting on its own.
Here's the question: do you feel with this going to monthly that you've been cheated a little bit, getting this as your issue? That's it for a month.
Well, we got the annual this month, so I don't feel too bad this one.
Okay, fair enough. But if this had been next month, where you don't have an annual, if that was it.
I try not to think like that. Like I'm cheated because the issue is not what I want it to be. I wonder if he knew when he wrote this one that it was going monthly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't find out until he'd written a couple past the point of monthly. Perhaps. Yeah,
because this still feels like the pace that it has been.
Yeah.
And I think he does need to adjust the pace maybe he will, and he's already addressed that. But I think it does need changing a little bit because it has been very much aware that there's another issue in 2 weeks, and it's kind of played to that.
Yeah, I did like the action scene later on though, where they're dealing with the automated truck and the train, and like Canary has to like use our power to slow the train down. That was some fun stuff, and the idea that they're trying to hack into the city because it's a smart city and everything runs on the internet now, which is oddly kind of similar to some themes of this week's Arrow episode, which involved the team having to save the internet.
Oh, good lord. I need to get caught up on Supergirl now that you mentioned that, though.
I thought you were going to say I need to get caught up on Arrow.
Oh yeah, God, that would have made sense. No. The other three are fun, Matt. I would recommend the other three for some fun times.
Especially Legends these days. Legends Tomorrow is actually
your ET fandom, Matt, is going to skyrocket or tingle wildly with this last episode of Legends if you catch up.
Yay.
They go nuts with the referencing.
Nice. Back to Green Arrow, that scene Pete was just talking about before he gets hijacked with Canary disrupting the train. I just love the layout there, and then it ends with her turning around.
I love her smirk in the top panel.
Yeah, I love that panel at the top. Yeah, the smirk. It's like she knows she's about to do something cool as shit, so she's just like enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with it. Yeah, it's the Clock King actually that's doing all this, which of course he goes and grabs him. It's kind of just a filler plot because they're just dealing with it and it's like done by the end of the issue. I think maybe the more sort of seeding stuff for later. The same two cops we got last issue are talking about how they're basically just security guards now for all the rich people who now run the city. So I think that's poking at some interesting themes that maybe could go somewhere.
And it feels like they're kind of going to get bored of vigilante stuff. It's like, well, no, we want to be recognised and do our job. I can see that. But fun enough.
And he says that, and he looks over, and the one cop is driving like a Lamborghini.
He's prospering.
Like he's bought in. Yeah,
he's prospering.
So I like it. I like when Percy gets a little more subtle like that because we know he likes to tell these big, cheesy.
It was a little less on the nose than he usually does, to be fair.
Yeah, and shockingly, despite the fact that Merlin saved Diggle in the past and Diggle owed him one, Merlin turns on Diggle. Shocker! I could never have seen that coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not at all. Merlin, he was Ra's al Ghul,
He used to be Ra's al Ghul.
I love the whole submarine thing.
Yeah, so I haven't watched very many issues of Archer. But I'm getting episodes of Archer, but I'm getting Archer vibes out of Oliver and Moira in that last page.
Yeah,
right, with the mom and the son, doing spy stuff.
Yeah, definitely. There is an episode where they go in like a submarine thing. I mean, they're actually like in a bloodstream, they're miniaturized, and it is glorious.
Yeah, the issue ends with them. They're on this fancy submarine boat thing, and they're going to the Inferno to steal stuff to get their wealth back, and then they can fight it on a more even footing, and maybe bring some class back to the family name and all sorts. I'm just kind of waiting for her to turn on him, though, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was an okay issue. Like it's progressing everything along. I just felt like half of it was taken up with these flashbacks that weren't that interesting on their own.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. I think I liked the Moira ones more than the Diggle ones, though.
That's fair. And also Oliver's court date's coming up, and everyone's worried about it. And the girl he was supposed to kill still kind of freaked out and shell shocked and not really all quite there. Matt, your mic is going. But there we go. And obviously Stephen Burt's art's very nice, very clean style, as typical.
Yeah, I do enjoy his stuff a lot. Although I have to say, I'm hoping the switch to monthly means we can get Fryer, more.
Especially
more
since we know Schmidt's going to Teen Titans, so it means both of Percy's books just might be beautiful.
Yeah. If we get Fryer as the main artist, and then just have Byrne as the backup for the monthly stuff, then I'm more than okay with that.
Yeah. True. All right, so that's Green Arrow. That'll take us on to Nightwing number 32. Tim Seeley writing, Miguel Mendonca and Scot Eaton on art. Now, I just complained about flashbacks in this one. A lot of this one's also very flashback heavy. But it was a bit more interesting though. It was basically we're at the blackjack table and Raptor's there, and most of the issue is them having a conversation and talking about their past and why they're there. And Raptor gets all philosophical about, this is why you're flawed, this is why you do this. You bought into the rich and powerful Bruce Wayne, and then you forgot your own life, and blah 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 blah. You're just out for yourself. And then Nightwing kind of flips it all around and says, I've been actually researching and trying to figure out where you were, from memories. I've been talking to people, I've been interviewing people from the circus, all these things. And it basically tells him what seems like probably an accurate portrayal of what Raptor was doing on the night that Dick's parents died, of how he got caught off guard and followed Bruce to pick his pocket because he wanted the money, rather than doing what he was claiming that he was always doing, which was protecting his mother. And because of that, he never saw the acid on the rope, and because of that, they died. But yeah, so there's a lot of talking about them falling to their deaths, and like how that everyone felt like they hit the ground at the same time, and all this stuff. It's an okay issue. It's kind of the issue where I appreciate a lot of the beats in it, and I like what it's doing from a story level, but it's not necessarily the most exciting one on its own.
I agree. I like it as part of the overall narrative.
Yeah,
it feels like Seeley's wrapping it all up. Like he started with Raptor, he's gonna end with Raptor.
It does feel like he might have gone a bit longer on this run, but he's ended for reasons, and it's like, okay, well, I was going to do this Raptor thing at some point, but let's just get it all out because I want to be the one to tell this Raptor story.
Absolutely, and obviously the runoffs are all coming into play as well, and they're all deciding they want to help fight because they know that Raptor and Pigeon are working together, and they're like, no, we're going to do this, and we're going to do it for Giz, because Giz wanted to be a hero, so we're going to do this. Also, I think we probably all enjoyed Gorilla Grimm freaking out at the pigeons flying out. And
as someone that has a bird phobia, I especially appreciated that.
I love how he sticks up for himself. Like, Mouse is like, seriously? And he's just like, an ape legend, birds are bringers of doom. I stand by my reaction.
Yep, in Matt Legend, it's the same too, not just Ape Legend, so it's fine. I did like the stuff with Orca too. How they're like, you're always a runoff, and you did all of this because you were tired of them using you, and you thought or she didn't want to not feel useful, and so that that opens that hole up to her.
Because basically what happens at the end of this issue is that Raptor and Pigeon have basically infected a lot of the population of Bloodhaven. We're not sure quite how much at this point. Certainly the people in the casino.
I'm thinking just the casino.
Maybe just the casino.
Too.
But they've infected them all with Blockbuster and Orca. Like I think they've used they've studied the Orca stuff that made him his way, and then they've turned it into like Blockbuster Venom or whatever. And they're all sort of like hulking up and freaking out, and we get that big thing at the end. But that's actually where the Defacer and the rest of the team, they find Orca at this old lab that was used to work on like him and his gang, and they basically convince him like to help and should work with us and all sorts. But yeah, I mean, like I say, it's setting up all the next parts of the story. It's giving us a lot of emotional payoff. It's kind of the moment where Dick says, "You know what? You're not above me, right? I am your equal. I can fight you on this." I mean, I like the final page where you all these blockbuster people rampaging around and Dick's like doing the Superman
like
shot.
the ripping the shirt open shot.
Yeah, the Superman kind of moment.
Well, I liked how they told the story over Blackjack too. Like when Raptor doesn't realize that Dick has an ace in the hole, and he's figured all of this out.
Yeah.
Poor choice of words. But
yeah, because Raptor keeps winning, and then at the end, Dick's like, "No, House wins." At the end,
Blackjack.
Like,
but he relates his story to it as well. Like Raptor saying, "No, Dick, you wanted more. You had a good easy life anyway, but you wanted the best. You wanted blackjack."
Yeah, and then when Raptor loses, that's when he enacts his plan. It's like, well, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to win ultimately anyway. Which is kind of, I think a lot of this story and the story between the two of them has always been about hypocrisy and how Raptor thinks Dick's a hypocrite, but really Raptor's the hypocrite. He's the bigger hypocrite of the two of them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I think it boils down to that. Yeah, art's good, not amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Serviceable.
It's serviceable. It works. Nothing about it was blowing me away. I do like how Orca looks though. Orca looks pretty pimping.
Yeah.
But then again, how do you screw up a whale shark person?
And anthropomorphize killer whale.
There you go.
How can that go wrong?
That's the correct term.
Like street sharks.
Yeah, like street sharks. That's a good comparison. But yeah, no. So it's setting up the final, and it does feel like everything's coming together. Because again, I think we said this the last couple of issues, but it's bringing Raptor, and it's bringing the runoff sense. Vaboda's there. Like we see her briefly, like dealing with the chaos out in the docks, spilling out from the casino.
I'm looking forward to the end game. I mean, I'm not looking forward to Seeley coming off the run, of course, because I've been enjoying it a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. And whatever epilogue issue he has planned, I'm sure it's going to hit quite hard because he can do that quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see him and Defacer like having a moment where they agree that they're not going to be a couple again, but they've kind of buried the hatchet, and it'll feel kind of bittersweet.
I hope so.
I'm sensing that moment coming, but no. So there's Nightwing. That'll take us on to Deathstroke number 25, which is the oversized issue, as we said. It's the for like all the other issue 25s I've had. It's had a bit of a meteor issue. Christopher Priest writing and Carlo Pagulayan on art. So the society got him at the end of the last issue.
Yep.
And in this one, he's basically strapped to a device, a table thing, and we've got a round table with the society members. And he's hallucinating. You can kind of tell that Hector Hammond's kind of messing with his head, and he's thinking of these things from his past, but they're not really because he's still talking like he has all the experience of adult Deathstroke, but he's a kid.
Yeah.
It's messing with.
He's consciously aware this is looking back at something, and it's not happening now.
Yeah, and it basically becomes this debate about whether or not he's evil or not. And honestly, my favourite thing about this trial is that it brings in some other, because we mentioned why is Killer Frost there, and I like that Vandal Savage brings up. Yeah, there's a worrying trend with some of our colleagues here in the evil world. Lex Luthor notably has been playing hero for a while now, and then Killer Frost is working with the Justice League of America, I actually kind of like the villains as a whole. Are like, what's going on? More of us are turning good now. Deathstroke's playing hero with all his kiddie teammates.
That's it. I really like how Killer Frost is like, look, we all know this isn't just about Deathstroke. This isn't just about Slade. This is about all of us. I'm here. We all know I'm running off. With the Justice League for Batman. This is as much about me as it is him.
I like Riddler in this issue. Riddler trying to figure things out, and he's constantly dropping his little riddles. I liked it.
Yeah, it's fun.
I liked how he was more of a traditional Riddler here, because we had that sort of more edgier one in Batman recently, in the flashback story. But I feel like here this is a bit more typical.
I like the idea that we can have both, because that Batman one that was in the past. It was like he was young, he was brash, and
that said,
his defeat
he still
is kind
has
of mellowed.
the question mark scar across his chest, which I kind of like.
Oh sure, yeah.
That it's under there, and he's trying to hide from that.
Yeah, continuity. I do like that his hair's a bit floppier though. Like because I like Riddler with a bit more messier look to him.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But no, I like that he's basically being the attorney and trying to like prove whether or not he's evil.
Yeah, he's the court-appointed attorney on top of it. You know, like
because
there's nothing in it for him to win or lose. You know what I mean?
It cracked me up though when he stood up and said, "I am Riddler for the defense." I'm like, he's defending him. It cracked me up. And then we have what I was pretty sure was like an hallucination, but you think Deathstroke gets out, like he actually breaks free because his suit has backup power, and he gets out. And I do actually like his strategy here. Like he goes to like, right, Hector Hammond needs to be dealt with first because he can mess with my mind. And then Reverse Flash has to be next because he's a speedster. He's the next most dangerous. And, you know, I liked how he worked down them in order of priority. It was like, no, this is the ones that I have to deal with first. And he kind of, in a Batman-esque way, is just kind of because Deathstroke kind of wins and beats them all.
Yeah.
But it turns out all to be bullshit. It's all in his head. And basically they actually say, see, this proves he's still evil. If he got out of those restraints, he would kill all of us. So he's still Deathstroke.
I love when Manta stabs him and he just gets up with it still inside him and just keeps going. That's that's why he earned the name Deathstroke the Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he just keeps coming at you like the Terminator, no matter what you do to him. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So no, that's and Riddler like rests his case, but I think interestingly from the book as a whole, like looking at everything that's been happening, you look at that and say, well, have they just proved that he is really still evil, and that this is all an act, and that this is just all going to fall apart soon?
The question is what he did evil, or is it self-preservation, and is he evil for taking out the villains? Because to him, I don't think he would see that as evil.
Oh no, that's true. But at least recently, he's been trying not to kill people. If he's the sort of anti-hero who decides, no, I'm still going to be a hero, but I have no problem killing villains. Like then
he's
that's
Punisher, then.
Yeah, he's Punisher basically. Yeah. Which for Deathstroke seems fairly likely, to be honest.
Yeah. I always kind of felt that's where he should be, anyways. Because like, if you look at the Punisher, he doesn't get along with all the heroes, and like they don't need him to. But like, I always liked that he had that weird respect for Captain America, like in Civil War. You know, when Cap dismissed him, he didn't argue. He was like, okay. And, you know, I kind of like, I would like a respectful, like, he's gone around with Superman, so Superman tells him, you know, Deathstroke, this isn't your fight. Then
I think Deathstroke does have a respect for, you know, Batman and Superman, especially those. He goes, you know, he thinks he can win because, you know, he's like Batman where he'll plan. He's like, no, I think I can win, but I think he does respect them still. Yeah.
So if he says, you know, whatever crisis happens, Deathstroke, this isn't your fight. We don't need you here causing casualties. So I'm like, okay, cool. Other stuff to do. See you later. And here, so is this a Grundy that comes and picks him up? Like,
do you know, I was hoping you'd have the answer for me because I wasn't sure who this guy is either.
I was like, is it a Grundy? Is it meant to be a Bizarro?
Yeah, I wasn't too sure.
We should mention though, if you're not actually looked at the book, you're just listening to us talking about it. So at the end of this, they're about to let Deathstroke go, and through the roof, this big dude in a Deathstroke costume,
a classic Deathstroke costume as well, not the current one.
Yeah, with half the face revealed, and you see it's like a grey Hulk-like figure. So you know that's why we're guessing Grundy, we're guessing Bizarro. I don't know if it's either of those. Like I feel like it's maybe just someone else that we're going to find out about.
Oh, I remember this now.
Oh, go on.
This is Icon. They put Icon in his essence.
Yeah.
In whatever that was.
Yeah, you're right.
This is like 10 issues ago.
Right. Okay.
When he fell, right, and Jericho ends up with his suit. Yeah. Where Jericho killed him. They put his essence in this other creature. And I can't remember what this was.
That's right.
Yeah.
What's funny though is there's like 10 editor's notes in this to go back to other issues, but none of this has one.
Nope.
We could have used this one for here.
And do you know what else doesn't have one? Explaining why Reverse Flash is there.
Yeah.
Well, because they can't explain that yet, because we don't know why he's there.
No, I know, but just say, you know, coming in a future story. You know, we got that in last week or the week before.
Yeah. I'm glad that Killer Frost was explained though. They actually did explain that properly. And it tied into the theme of what the story was, so that worked out well. Like, so I can't fault them for that.
No, I really enjoyed this. I think it was interesting to use the 25 issue. You know, they've totally been celebrations of the run, celebrations of the character. This has been okay. Let's use it to look at Deathstroke and who Deathstroke is.
The character.
Yeah, it was like an analytical issue looking back at who he is.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's really interesting way of doing it.
And I liked all the villains being there, and obviously at the end when he does get kidnapped by this icon monster esque person, is that we see the rest of the team, the Defiance, been like, hey, Deathstroke's not been gone for a while, and they're like, he's a Terminator, it'll be fine. And then it cuts to like him being dangled off a roof by this monster. It's like, okay, right. Yeah. So no. So I expect they'll end up saving the day somehow for him, which will maybe legitimize them in his eyes a little bit more, because obviously he treats them like kids constantly. So maybe them having
fair, they are pretty much kids.
Well, yeah, sure, but like I feel like
two of them literally are his kids
coming and saving him. Well, Jericho was getting married, so he's not that young.
So I have that conversation with my dad weekly. Like, don't talk down to me. I'm 32 years old. He's like,
exactly.
Kid.
Well, that's my point. I'm saying they're not all necessarily that young. Some of them are. Obviously, Wally's like 13, 14, whatever he is. But
right.
So no, it was a really good issue actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Felt like it was playing up everything we've been building to, and set up the next stuff. I just wish I'd remembered the setup for that monster at the end a bit better.
I think I'm gonna really look forward to rereading this whole run come the end, because I feel like it's and there's been so many points so far I've gone, okay, all that stuff's kind of come together, and then it sets up another bunch of things for 10 issues, and then it all comes together again. So I'm looking forward to, once I know the full story, just reading through all of it and seeing all the threads.
I read this on Wednesday, and it took me that long to realize it was the Icon, just because of the way he spoke. So I was like, wait, that's not Grundy, that's not...
Yeah.
So an editor's note would have been nice, but like Connor just said, I think if you read this all in one big chunk, it'll flow a little bit better.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem with the shifter monthly is these things are a little bit longer ago than they would have been planned to have been. When he originally wrote that issue, it was still on double shipping schedule, so he thought, okay, it's going to be memorable enough in 3 months instead of 7.
Yeah. It was actually longer than that, because if it was back at like issue 10ish, then it'd have been ages.
Whatever.
But anyway, solid. So that'll take us on to Batman White Knight #2. Sean Murphy doing everything
except colours,
because he's Sean Murphy.
Weaving freaking magic. That's what he's doing.
Well, there's Matt's opinion on this book.
Yeah.
So Joker, or Jack Napier, maybe I should say, basically gets himself acquitted because there's actually no evidence. He accuses the system of basically making him and wanting the boogeyman out in the streets. So they made him worse. He claims that he was never...
said, this is in its own continuity, right?
Of course it is. Absolutely.
Yeah. So when he says he's never actually done anything, he's just, he's robbed people. Well, does that mean the Joker really isn't that bad, or is he
I took that as he hadn't done anything until they messed him up, and they made him the Joker. Because it's...
My problem is it makes the police seem really incompetent. They're saying they haven't got a single bit of evidence for him ever murdering anyone.
Yeah, that's a wild thing.
I don't buy that.
That is silly. That is like...
And that's why I was looking at it going, well, wait, so did he really not murder people? Is he really just this robbery kind of guy that has a presence to him?
So you want to believe Napier, that he's telling the truth, and it's not just him saying things.
I don't think he killed anyone before he became Joker. If they obviously had a part in turning him into that, then fair enough. I'll buy that he didn't kill anyone before he became Joker. But the later story tells we find out about Jason Todd. It's like, well, I mean,
that's the thing, But yeah, no, I like that whole setup because it does make you question, and then when we get to the later stuff.
Before you move on, I just wanted to see back at the start when it's the newscasters debating whether or not he actually is innocent or whatever, where he should be let out. How do you feel about them using the actual, not the actual photo, but drawing the photo of that protest image from last year? I think this was.
Oh yeah.
They actually just drew this image from this famous photo of the women, the protester being approached by the heavily armed police.
It was a bold choice.
It feels a bit weird to me to just use the actual thing.
Yeah, but I think that's what he's going for. It made me feel uncomfortable, which I think that's what Murphy's going for.
I think it's maybe the idea that he felt like if he tried to do his own version, he'd feel like he's just disrespecting the image. and the whole
Okay.
point of that photo. It's like, so maybe you thought it was it felt better to just use that picture and go, no, look, I respect this image enough to use it and not change it and do my own thing.
Okay. I'm not sure. I don't feel really strongly with it, one way or the other, but it did make me go pause and go, huh, that's a bold choice.
So, can we talk about the shadow in the very first panel? I think there's such a glorious little art touch.
Oh, sure. Yeah, and it's basically that first Phantom Menace poster where it's Anakin's shadow is the Darth Vader shadow. That's basically what it is.
Say what you want about that movie, but that's a good poster.
Oh, the poster's great.
It was.
The poster's great. It's the best part of that entire movie is that poster.
Oh, I'm not going to dispute that. It's a phenomenal poster.
So he goes back to his old hideout and Harley greets him and is basically excited, wants to have sex, let's get crazy, put the white makeup back on, let's go and kill people and rob stuff and whatnot. And then I got very confused because I wasn't sure how literal I was supposed to take, because it wasn't until later on, because at first I was like, is this just in her head and she's just switching personalities? But then later on they actually explained, no, there were two Harley Quinns in this continuity, in this book. So you had the original Harley, who was the therapist, who became Harley Quinn, but then when the Joker went too far, in particular with Jason Todd, she realised he was beyond this certain point, and he was in love with Batman, not her. She fell away from him, and this other person came in and became the new Harley Quinn.
I love the meta commentary of this, of the idea, just how we've got such a different Harley now to this classic Harley, and it's like there's a point where, okay, maybe there was a point where it went too far, and maybe we should just look at them as two separate Harleys.
And that was it. I always had issues like with Suicide Squad version of Harley. Like, she was a psychiatrist and she fell into the trap. Like, how did she let herself go that far? Right?
I don't think it's a coincidence that the new version of Harley is wearing a top that's very similar to the movie.
Yes, no, I think it's very intentional.
Right? Yeah. And then you get Deanie's version,
complete
here,
with the hyenas.
With the hyenas completely. And I love that. Like, if there's one thing that, like, Killing Joker was originally, out of continuity like this, but they brought in, Barbara being attacked. I almost wish, like, there was multiple Harleys now. Like, there's a pretender Harley. And,
I think if you want to, you can headcanon it yourself, though, can't you? Like, go, okay, I'm going to pretend this new Harley that's running around in the current Harley book, that's a completely different Harley. Like, just personality-wise, it's very different anyway. But just pretend it's physically a different one.
Yeah, and then you can have Deanie's Harley that still runs around with Catwoman, and all that other stuff. Like, I like that. It was a nice choice, but I had to go back and read it like 2 or 3 times because, like Pete, I was like, wait, is this in his head? Is this in her head? Like,
I thought it,
and then no.
I thought it was in her head until we got to the scene afterwards where she actually sits down with him with tea and explains what's going on, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, okay.
Well, I like too. He's like, I didn't know you drank tea. He's like, well, yeah, you never noticed a lot of things because you were so wrapped up.
Like, I turned into a different person, for example.
Exactly. So. But yeah.
Oh dear. But so I'm just kind of going through it in order here, and the next scene, can I just say, Sean Murphy drawing Mr. Freeze is like the best thing.
Oh my god,
ever.
That's a print.
That full page where he stood, looking into the glass tube.
Nora,
his wife, Nora.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the right word for that, the tube thing. But
Stasis chamber.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous, that whole image.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That's a print. Like, there's a print I would hang on my wall right there.
I think it's interesting here. Like, so obviously we talked about how last time it's not just that Batman's went evil per se. Like, it's different than that. But you see here, he's trying to help Victor, like, kill his wife. He's trying to get a cure to bring him back to like normal, not be cold blooded, basically.
Yeah.
Although, interesting twist, like this Mr. Freeze, his origin's a lot earlier than the other versions because they mention that he's been this way for 50 years. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they talk about like Nazi technology and stuff, and all that.
Yeah, so
his name's Victor Freeze. The way it's very Eastern European.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true.
So I can imagine him being part of the Cold War, and that's what
spell it with a K instead of a C.
Yeah.
And they basically say he's been frozen in his 30s for 50 years, so he's basically just aged to 80 when they like cure him, basically. But yeah, so it's. but it's not a foolproof thing because they even mentioned they don't have a cure for her disease yet if they bring her back.
Nope.
So, but then again, he's so close to death that they probably have about the same amount of time left anyway. So
Yeah.
I know, but then that panel underneath that, where he's 80 now and he's just kneeling down in front of it, and he's just like, oh, what do I do? Do I just do this anyway? And you feel the emotion in that panel.
Yeah, he's lost.
If you took out the dialogue bubbles, that entire scene still works with just silence.
Now, question. I've got a question. I don't know if you guys will know this, right? But so they mentioned McGregor's syndrome here, right? That's what she's got, which is what she had in the movie Batman and Robin. Was it in the comics before that? The name of the disease, McGregor's syndrome.
I don't think so. It was
because
always just this
if
disease.
if he's taking that from, I mean, obviously he took Jack Napier from the first Batman movie, and he's taken traditional Harley.
Are you thinking this is literally in that continuity?
No, not in that continuity. I'm just saying it's a bold thing to take as something from Batman and Robin as stupid as McGregor syndrome.
No, I get you, but this is a much smaller thing.
Oh, sure. No, it
almost,
is.
it doesn't really matter by comparison.
It doesn't. But if you remember...
But it shows he's pulling from all the different versions of Batman to create this story.
Even ones that no one wants him to pull from.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like, if you remember the plot of that movie, and I do remember more of this than I'd like to remember, but...
that movie has a plot.
Alfred gets McGregor syndrome. That's the plot of that movie.
Yeah.
And is that why he's helping Mr. Freeze? Is because that's what Alfred has? Because we know Alfred's sick, and he's dying. So you're saying it's a small thing, but if that's what it is, if Alfred's got this as well, and they're trying to figure out a way to save him, they're basically taking a whole plot line for Batman and Robin, which is ballsy.
But presumably doing something infinitely better with it.
But then again, take away the Schumacher sheen, and that's not a bad storyline for Dr. Freeze, Mr. Freeze.
Oh, sure.
You know, so I mean that's one bright spot in that very terrible movie that I would still watch before I watch Batman vs Superman again. Because at least I can laugh at it and not be angry. I was like, chill. Ice skates.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
You know.
Also, I'll say just
smarming.
Before we move on from the Mr. Freeze punch from Batman and Robin, I just want to point out Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze said winter is coming long before Game of Thrones was on the air. I'll just
I heard that's where George Railroad Martin got it from.
I bet he did. I bet he was taking things from Batman and Robin.
That's a lie.
I'm trying to line up the books, like when the books come out.
The movie came out in '97. I don't know, was the
I think
first
the book was a bit before that, maybe around the same time at worst.
Are you accusing Joel Schumacher of reading A Song of Ice and Fire?
I think he might have done.
And be like, I like that line.
I'm giving him too much credit, him having the ability to read a book that long.
Hey, to be fair, Schumacher's actually made some pretty entertaining movies.
Ollie Down is pretty good.
Simple movie still.
I like Phone Booth. Phone Booth's a decent entertainment.
It's pretty good too. I like Lost Boys. I know Pete's not a big fan. Yeah, I like it. I also just like saying George Railroad Martin because I have no idea what the RR's there for. So I added that myself. Back to White Knight. I like the fact that Batman, you can tell he's having a really bad week. Like, this is all from him viciously attacking Joker to Alfred, just everything. He is on a mean streak, and I don't necessarily like. They're trying to set him up as a bad guy, and as much as I want him to be like, yeah, screw that guy, I don't like Batman. I feel like he's still sympathetic here. You know, he's still because you see he has that interaction at the ritzy party, and the guy's like, oh yeah, we have the Gotham tax zone, and the code is I got rich off of buying them and flipping them and taking the tax money. And Bruce just loses it and punches the guy out.
Yeah, because he's given legitimacy to what Napier's saying about what Batman's done to the city, and it upsets him, so he decks the guy. Also because it's just wrong what he's doing, because he's profiting on everyone's misery. We mentioned the backstory with the original Harley leaving. I just want to point out how good the panels of her running in, like trying to stop the Joker from killing Jason Todd is, because I like that in this he's not using a crowbar, he's using a switchblade, and she just comes up and grabs it out of his hand. It just looks demented and
I love that whole bit is it's got that blood red glow to it. Just nothing else in the book. It's all these really cold colors. Even the bits where the other flashback which kind of got this purpley glow to it. This is just blood red.
Yeah. No, that's...
Well, because all the Joker stuff's purple, and then he's made that decision, and now it's red. because you turn one page, which a beautiful his Shrine of Batman. That's just like a gorgeous layout and everything.
Nice shadows in that page as well.
Yeah.
And I love how the Harley is off to the side, like in the same way that, it's off to the side for him. She's not important.
Yeah.
She's not even in focus.
He gets 2/3 of the whole page, and then she has like a thin strip in the side, and that's like, you're just a side thing because of what he really loves is Batman. And he's basically like, let's do this. Let's save this city together. He recruits her. So we end up with this big scene at the end where they have all of the villains of Gotham, or the majority of them, come and have a meeting. And it's at this point I'm like, okay, what's he doing? Because he's like, he's meant to be good now, but is he going to use all the villains to do something? Yeah. So I think we should point out some of the more interesting designs of some of these characters. Killer Croc's got the big long snout, which is different from usual.
Love what he's doing with the Bane mask with him hunched over.
He's a luchador. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, the fuzzy bit around his neck was kind of like throwing me off first. I was like, oh, it's Bane.
I think it's supposed to be like, like the thing from Dark Knight Rises where he has the vest.
I can see it.
I think it's supposed to be that, but because it's hunched over, it's kind of coming forward.
Question: who's the little girl next to Croc?
That's a good. Is it Starfire?
Yes. Well played, sir. Well played, sir. Because Roxy Rocket's behind her. Like she's clear by Riddler, and you have the ventriloquist, but
you got Scarecrow's got a pretty cool gas mask on.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love the Two-Face. How one side's just the red with the white.
Well, and then you look at what he's drinking because it goes through, and they're all having drinks, and the Dent side has a glass of red wine, and then it looks like Four Loko on the Two-Face side, because of course he'd be drinking something that insane.
Also, I want to say how much I like Harley, how she looks here. Like she's got this business suit on, but it's like red pants and the dark jacket.
I feel the same about his Ivy. I feel like she's really classy and simple, but it looks good.
Yeah, and the sunglasses kind of complete the look. But basically, so Clayface is there, and he's got Mad Hatter's hat, and he's using Mad Hatter's technology, and then he's controlling Clayface, but he's taken some of Clayface's matter, sprinkled it into their drink, so he can control the rest of the villains, and that's kind of the big. By the way, Bane with the glowing eyes with the stitched up mouth mask.
So cool,
terrifying looking.
How's he drinking that?
Because it opens.
It's opening the tiniest of that.
Yeah. He's just doing tequila shots. It's fine.
I think
clearly it's Scorpion tequila.
The
real question is, how is he
stretches.
eating to keep that bulk up?
He's injecting it with needles.
Yeah, it's all. He's on IV. He just gives him what he needs.
Yeah. So our big final cliffhanger is he's got all these villains that are mind controlled, which is still very villainous, might I add. As much as he's maybe saying he's wanting to do good things, this still feels like a very devious way of doing it.
That's why I really like it, because we're going, okay, we want to believe him, but do we?
Yeah, I know.
And obviously that's the same thing as Batman. It's like, sure, because Batman's like, well, I want him to be good because that solves my problem, but do I believe him?
Yeah, no, it's all.
But that shadow, the first time you see him in the book, he's got the old Joker shadow.
He's in there, deep down. He's in there.
And he addresses that to Harley. He's like, no, that's still a part of me. He's there trying to cause chaos still, and he has to fight against it.
Yeah.
Real good stuff. It's funny because when they announced the concept of this, we're like, I don't know about this. It sounds a bit weird and sounds a bit this.
Yeah, then they told us it was like, they were using the name, the jet name.
Yeah, it was a bit weird, but sometimes it's worth just waiting, seeing what they do with it, and sometimes it can work out. Because 2 issues in out of 8, and we're really into it. So credit where credit is due, Mr. Murphy, you crazy bastard.
So I just looked up. I just googled Batman doll villain, and it's Baby Doll. From the animated series. Yeah, and that's why she's next to Killer Croc, because her episodes of the show.
It's been a while since I've watched it.
Yep.
But that's cool to know. I'll look out for it next time I do. So
yeah.
Excellent. So that's the last book. That's wrapping us up. Unless I'm forgetting something that someone else.
No, it is. It was amusing. You kind of didn't realize it was the last one, did you?
I know. I didn't know.
Well, that'll take us on to shit. There's nothing else.
Yeah. Traditionally, week 1's your Red Hood week, but he's pushed it off to week 2 this month. I think he didn't want to do 2 in a row again. He was.
Honestly, it's not that. I have 9 books this week and then 6 or 7 next. It's way easier for me to get it read next week.
All right. Like the story. But what that does take us on is to our favourite stuff of the week. So we pick our best panel, our best art, our best cover, and then our top 5 books of the week. And we sort of go out on a high note with happiness. Unless it was a really bad week, in which case it's a really miserable top 5. Like, oh, well, I guess that one goes there, because by default it's better than that one.
It happens from time to time.
AKA ranking the DC EU movie universe. So we start with panel or moment. I'm going to go first because I want to be the first one to say this one. Mr. Freeze, looking at Nora, full page spread. That's my pick. Matt, what's your pick?
That's good. Mine's from the same book, but it's the Joker, and him being in love with Batman, and Harley off to the side.
Yeah,
he's at the shrine.
The shrine, yeah. Mine's also from the same book. Mine is the final panel of the Freeze section with him, with kneeling down in front of it. Yeah.
All right. Okay, that was a nice and easy panel of the week. No one had to think about it. We're just right in there.
Nope.
Okay, so cover of the week.
I mean, I can jump in with this one. I've got mine sorted. So I'm going to go White Knight.
All right.
Just Joker, at the shrine. It's kind of like the panel that Matt's picked, but as a cover, and it's just gorgeous.
Matt.
Mine's from Batman proper. Just you have all of the assassins, which we didn't mention. They didn't have any tongues. Was that in this issue?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Batman realizes they don't have tongues because of the way that when he punches them in the face, it feels different. Which that just cracked me up.
Cool. I actually do think that cover's a little bit messy. It look like there's so many of them that they kind of blend together a little.
Well, that's why I like it. They look like a swarm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I think artistically, I would also agree with White Knight, but I'm actually going to pick Superman because I think just the Mad Max looking Lois Lane is to my taste. So I'm going to give that some cred.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
So that'll be best art of the week. I mean, it's tough, but I feel like we're all going to pick the same thing. Connor.
We should all say it on 3.
All right. 1, 2, 3. White Knight.
White Knight. Batman.
Okay, so Sean Murphy takes it with a clean sweep. This week.
And you know what? It was a good week for art as well. Tony Daniel doing some great stuff.
Joelle Jones,
Liam Sharp, Joelle Jones, Stephen Byrne.
Yeah, that was a solid week for art, but Murphy was on full form.
It was a cut above, wasn't he?
So yeah, top 5 books of the week then. So I'm going to go to Matt first for his top 5.
So my number 1, Batman White Knight. Number 2, Batman proper. Number 3 is going to be this one's a little more difficult. Let's go Deathstroke, number 3. Number 4 is Superman, and number 5 is Nightwing. Yeah.
Okay, Connor.
Yeah. Okay, I think the first 2 are really easy. Is White Knight and then Batman. After that, I think it's a lot closer.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go Superman at 3, I think. Then Green Lanterns, and then Deathstroke.
I'm also going to put White Knight at number 1. So we got a unanimous pick. Batman at number 2.
Yeah, it's number 2.
Yeah, Deathstroke at number 3. Green Lanterns at number 4. And Superman at number 5.
Is this the first week when in a long time when none of us have had any of the metal books in our top 5s at all?
It might be, yeah.
Devastator just missed because I really like the art, but the story had some holes. So,
yeah,
but just missed. It could have been 6 easy.
Yeah.
But hey, it was bound to happen at some point.
Yeah.
So, no, cool. And also, I loved that Matt had 2 Batman books at 1 and 2, and then Superman was at number 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It cracks me up.
I'm not gonna lie to
How
myself.
far we've come.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. if I said this on Twitter, if White Knight holds its quality all the way through, it's done. It could end up being my favorite Batman story.
This is my favorite Superman story because Superman's not in it.
That's how alien that is for me to say. My brain went to autopilot. So
I think it shows how much Matt's grown over the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Imagine at the start of this podcast him picking 2 Batman books above a Superman one.
I feel like we've put him into shape over the past year and a half.
It's hard to pick against Joelle Jones too.
Yeah, I mean, it's really rough that she didn't get to stand out the artist this week because. Damn.
Next issue. Well, that said, next issue is week 3, and we've got
exactly.
We got Sejic, and we've got who else is week 3?
Oh man, I might be caught up by Aquaman by then.
Oh yeah, I can talk Matt about Aquaman next time.
Yeah, I'm up to issue 25 now because I had to go all the way back.
And I'll be back for Aquaman because I've missed the last 2 issues.
Oh, that's right. You read that too, but you were missing the last 2 times, so I didn't get it.
Though. I've read them.
Oh, good. You enjoying it?
I am. It's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm having a kick.
Great art, of course.
Yeah. Awesome. So that has been this week's Constant Multiverse. This is episode 76, I do believe. So, of course, what you want to do is you want to let us know what you think of the books in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Me and Clara did do our Patreon monthly episode right at the end of the month on Halloween. Batman the Long Halloween, so that's up there for patrons. It's also worth mentioning the vote for week 5 for patrons is also up. You have 2 weeks to vote on that if you're a patron, $5 and up. The 4 options for the vote this month for the 5th week in November are Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, Superman, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, The Power of Shazam, and Wonder Woman The Circle. So those are the options. So there's been some votes already, but obviously you might not have encountered them yet. So go over and give your votes off. You'll notice they're all kind of shorter options this time. That's because week 5 this month is actually really busy. So it was a strategic choice to pick some smaller stories to go do. But that's so that is the thing. So go check out that, and obviously that's over at patreon.com/MailFuzzTV. There's links to that in the corner of the video and the description, both for video and audio. So head over there, see for stuff you want to check out, and support us and stuff. But otherwise, get us on Twitter at DC Comics Podcast for updates and stuff, and the occasional retweets of various DC news and whatnot. If you want to ask us questions, which some folk do, but no. So that is pretty much us. So, Matt, any final words you want to say before we sign off this week?
No, just don't forget Starfire, my man.
Connor, any final words you would like to have about this week's books?
What about next week's books?
Oh yeah, next week. I always tell you what's coming next week, don't I? That's a good point.
Yeah, those are some pretty good final words.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Connor just saved you. Now you have to swear a life debt.
He didn't save me. This is like when Superman catches Batman and he's like, "Put me down, Clark. I don't like this." That's what this is. Yeah.
Hey, so he usually wears you to Superman, Ginger. That's great.
It's pretty good.
That
may be accidentally the highest praise he's ever given me.
Yeah, right?
Well, it's much better than the non-accidental praise that I've given you. Much lower on the ladder. So yeah, what's coming next week? You got Batman Lost #1, because we don't have an issue of actual metal this month, so we have this one shot instead. So looking forward to that. We have the next part of Bats Out of Hell, which is Hal Jordan, Green Lantern Corps #32. We also have Action Comics 991, Detective Comics 968, Wonder Woman 34, Flash 34, Titan 17, Supergirl 15, New Superman 17, and Mr. Miracle #4. Also coming out, but we will not be covering, are Superwoman #16, Batgirl and the Birds of Prey 16, Ragman #2, Justice League of America #18, Suicide Squad #29, and Red Hood and the Outlaws #16. That is how busy week 2 is. We have a lot of books that we do cover, and there's still like another half dozen that we don't. So, yeah, that's next week's business.
Yeah.
Any corrections, Connor? I know you love to correct in case there's been updates on Diamond.
I think you're all right on this one.
Oh, good.
I'm just scanning, but you seem to be okay.
All right, fantastic. So yeah, I've already done the plugs. I usually do that before the plugs, but I guess we're done. So yeah, thank you very much for listening or watching. It is always a pleasure. We do appreciate it. We always like having you here, hearing your opinions and everything else. So, as always, keep reading DC Comics, and always remember to never get lost in the Speed Force.